go have some fun.
I'm a big Guinness guy. If you didn't figure that one out yet.
Yeah, but like I could like. Okay, never mind. We're going for.
Listen, sometimes I just like to sit in a bar. I just like to sit at a bar and drink a beer. And if I go to the bar and they don't have my favorite beer, no, I'm not having a good time.
Then you have to do heroin, and then it's their fault.
Exactly.
Welcome to the Orange Beanie Guy Discord. Eclipse, Matthew Lyle, and Polyphemus.
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 Is that right?
Damn it, man.
Well, I was so close. I got to
There's
the
a full
last
syllable in there you missed.
Basically, Nova wants to know how you slice your bagels.
How I slice my bagels?
Yes.
Diagonally.
I buy them pre-sliced.
You uppity bitch. What? You've always just eaten whole ass bagels?
Yes. What's wrong with you? Like you okay? So like you take your spoon. You scoop the peanut butter, like way too much peanut butter, and then you just glob it on that one area that you're going to bite on the bagel, and you continue to do that until the bagel's gone, right?
You really are an animal.
No.
No, I'm not an animal!
What about you, Fire? How was your week in Overwatch?
Guess what? Fuck myself.
My week in Overwatch went okay. I've started trying to pick up Zen because just one game I decided to try him out, and I just dinked heads left and don't ask me fucking how. But I was dinking heads left and right, and I was like, what the fuck? This is lit. I have gold fucking damage and healing and everything else. What is happening? And I just, like, went to town. I had divas running away from me. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to pick up Zen now.
Ooh.
Spontaneous thought for a Smurf account, Dinks McGee. Yes? No?
Yes.
Dinks McGee?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dinks McGee. I kind of like Dinks McGee.
So
You gonna change the name of your Smurf?
I am now going on a journey of harmony with Zen, killing people with him. So, you know, that's very harmonious. And if anybody was on it, what?
I was gonna say, quick question. Who actually is your main? Like, I always thought it was Lucio, but I don't think I've ever got it pinned down.
Moira's honestly who I've spent hundreds of hours on a console.
Okay.
So, like, but
all right.
I've literally spent hundreds of hours of time on her. I'm fucking tired of her. I'm ready to put that kind of time into somebody else and learn them.
You guys hear that shit? That was dope.
Oh yeah. I kind of want to throw that kind of time at somebody else and just learn them as intricately as I know Moira, and then just kind of, you know, step by step. But I've just been having a hard time picking somebody. There's so many fun people to play.
I mean, I'm hopping on Taz's train. He's always said Lucio's the most fun character, and
he
really
so
is.
He
He is
fun, dude.
He's so fun.
He's
a blast to learn.
He's
not good with them, but he's fun.
The reason why I started playing him in the first place was because I couldn't hit shit. Like, I couldn't hit a shot with any character in the game.
Yeah.
Let alone a 4-round burst character. But it gave you the option to just, instead of actually hitting stuff, being difficult to hit.
Yeah.
And then you could actually contribute to your team
by
not shooting, but by just being around
present.
your team.
And
then as you slowly start to learn how to wall ride and get harder to hit, and then you start to learn how to aim, and that's when the climbing starts.
Yeah, Lucio's super fun to play. He can be difficult to control at times until you get the hang of it, but frankly, yeah, I agree. I completely agree with that.
Those tryhard free-for-alls really help with his play.
Oh my god, yeah, dude.
Well, that's what everyone always yells at you for playing Lucio or any other character in those kind of settings, and there's a couple that are dick moves to play.
Yeah.
But the reason why I like playing the tryhard FFAs with Lucio is because you never get the chance to 1v1 a DPS in an actual game unless you're frontline feeding.
Yeah.
And then your entire team's yelling at you for that. But when you're playing a tryhard FFA, you have 11 other people that are all are proud of their DPS play, otherwise they wouldn't be in there.
Right.
And you're playing and kind of learning how to compete with other DPSs in one-on-one circumstances. And then sometimes you just kind of turn around and then a widow brains you, and then you got to start on the other side of the map.
I wanted to talk about collecting information, and there's 3 stages of this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pre-fight, during fight, and post-fight. pre-fight, this only applies to escort, assault, and hybrid maps. Basically, if you're setting up waiting for the enemy to come out and attack you, I'd take those high mobility characters. Lucio's typically the go-to. You could say maybe Soldier, Winston, Diva, and run to that enemy spawn. Get on the side where they can't see you and listen. Don't move, listen. You'll be able to hear all their characters talk, and you can collect that information, say like, hey, these guys are running goats, they have a Ryan Zarya. Any bit of information can help, because that's going to let you
And if you're
figure
Lucio
out.
standing right outside, you just have to obey completely or guess completely by footsteps.
That
So
too.
maybe something more like the Hanzo and other ideas there. But if you're Lucio, you're 95% of the time you're still just going to be guessing based off footsteps or the rare chance they kind of clip through a wall whenever they're swinging a hammer. Reinhardt.
But more importantly, if you are that Lucio, that information needs to be shared with your team during the fight. A lot of things that I do personally is checking tab. And when I'm checking tab, I'm not holding it. I'm not like stopping and staring at the screen. You're checking it during, I guess, a lack of fight. If a fight just happened and you're running back to the point or you're waiting for the enemy attack to you, click tab, look at the ults. What can you combine with? Did they make any switches? If they did make switches, relay that to your team. If you have possible ults for a fight, say like, hey, Zarya, Hanzo, we got a combination. Let's see if we can get this set up. Be sure that the Diva uses her defense matrix before you do this. Just, just communication. And that's like the biggest thing in this climbing tutorial, if you will, is you gotta talk to your teammates. That is like the thing that is losing the matches, at least in my personal opinion. Taz, Fire, do you have any 2 cents on that?
If we're still talking about present fight, was that your last? That was the last point, correct?
Yeah, present fight.
Present fight, know your 1v1s. That's the easiest thing in the world. Know who your character beats in 1v1 situations. And when you kind of acknowledge that, force it. Put your team in a position where you have the option to fight with your team. So specifically the one that I'm thinking of off the top of my head is, maybe it's different at higher ranks, but up at mid-plat, high-plat, whatever, it's Diva for me. If I'm playing Lucio, there's no situation where a Diva should be able to kill me, because even if she does charge me with rockets, I should be able to change my position vertically to keep her from killing me. So if she's diving, I'm constantly peeling for the Widow, or I'm trying to peel for support. Because if she dives, that's a 1v1 that she has no more jetpack, and I can force that 1v1. I can demech her at the very least.
Oh, absolutely. Good thing mid-fight with relaying information to your team. Make sure you're relaying critical information and you're not just cluttering comms. Critical information being like, hey, Ryan's looking for a shatter. Critical information being May, no ice block. Reaper, no wraith. Things like that. Ana, no sleep. Diva, no matrix. Those are huge call-outs that you want to make, because those are now things that enable your teammates to make those big plays that they've been looking for.
And I'd argue to say saying that thing 2 or 3 times is like the limit. You don't need to spam it until that person's dead. Like 2 to 3 times and you're good to go on that. You've made the call out, now it's up to your team and you to react upon that.
I don't know about your elo, but my elo, you have to just keep saying it until it gets done, because otherwise it does not get done. So everybody just expects everybody else to turn around and take care of the problem, even though, this person's already been designated to take care. Even if someone hey, look, if this happens, make sure you peel. And then they don't peel because they're not listening for the call out. So you knew, granted, you guys are 2, 3 elos higher, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the game sense and actually listening to call outs is a big part of what gets people up there. So.
And that being said, I'm going to throw a quick 2 cents on for main tank players. This is more so for Reinhardt, just because he's what I play a lot. I've noticed quite a few times when I was playing in the lower bracket that if someone's running past that Reinhardt, the enemy Reinhardt, let's say a Diva, a Lucio, something jumps past him, he would immediately swivel and put his focus on the person that got past him. That is a massive, massive no-no. You got 5 other people behind you that are able to take care of that. Your primary focus is the girth of the team that is in front of you because, let's say, potentially, they have...
Can we not call it the girth of the team?
Okay, Taz, better word.
What front?
What you got? Okay.
What you got? What you got?
The rest of the team is there. So if you swivel iron as a Reinhardt, you can get shattered. You can get stunned. Also, your shield's not up, so they're just gonna burn you down and then roll right through you. And at least with the current meta, unless it changes with Baptiste just now entering competitive, I don't know. 9 times out of 10, if a Reinhardt dies in that comp, let's say it's GOATS, you're gonna lose that match.
Let's just say.
Let's just say you're fucked.
Let's go out on a limb here and just say that we're gonna pick goats.
I was trying to be nice about it. I didn't want to feed my own ego as a Rhine player. For the post-fight, if something needs to be changed, be willing to change. Partially the reason why I'm trying other main tanks is, Reinhardt really isn't the best character in a lot of situations, and the same goes for all the characters in this game. It needs to be synergized. You need to be on the same level with your team and willing to make the switch if it's necessary. Now, if you just got, a salty teammate over a certain situation, there's not much you can do about that. But if you genuinely think you want to win the game, be able to be flexible with your team.
Post fight's a really great time to start coordinating ultimates, seeing where you're at for ult charge. If you've been ultimate tracking on the enemy, it's a great time to, hey, look, Zarya definitely has grab, and Hanzo definitely has dragon. They're gonna try to Johnny Grab Dragon us, and they're. So what are we gonna do about
Johnny
it?
Grab Dragon? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's gonna be my porn name one day.
I'm gonna Urban Dictionary this real quick. I think this has a double meaning. Hold on.
Love it.
So. But it's a good time. Like, hey, look, they're about to start throwing ults at us. They have this and this for sure. What are we gonna do about it? And that's a great time to start. Okay, if they throw that at us, Zen, you ult while we're in the grab. Lucio beat to get out of it, and then we target. We jump the closest support we see or some shit. Yeah. I don't fucking know. It's whatever you want to set up as a team. It's a great time. You have a minute to set that up. Then you have a better idea of how to win that next fight. And that's a huge advantage.
For those interested, Johnny Grab Dragon is actually just an alternate term for masturbation.
Nerds, fucking just talk. It's so easy. Just join voice chat and communicate. The littlest bit helps. Even if you don't talk, just listen. And if you're a child, don't be afraid. I'm a nice guy. I'm not gonna shit on you for your child voice. I know that's
starting to sound really creepy. Move on.
But no, it's fine. You can be in the voice chat.
I'm a nice guy. I have ice cream.
No, I didn't say anything about ice cream. I'm just saying.
Oh my lord.
We can be cool. We can be cool. Everything's fine. We're all here playing Overwatch together. I can't speak for everyone else.
Fun.
I will be cool with you. Find me. My name is Spiral.
Cool, dude.
All right. Anyway, moving on to our next section.
How do you deal with this guy, man?
I don't know.
Come on, man.
I have to corral. In addition to team fights, there's a huge macro game that's going on with map control and ultimate economy. So Overwatch is at this point is just like a race to get who can get their ultimates the fastest and then who can hold on to it the longest.
And use it correctly.
Right, exactly. And that's what we're here to talk about. So first of all is just building. First thing is just building your ultimate. Just who are you shooting at? What are you aiming for? What are you looking for if you're looking for ult charge? So say you're looking for ult charge, like Spiral knows, fucking throw Fire Strike right at the door, right when the game starts.
My man!
Throw that Fire Strike, you get like, what, 10%?
Yeah, and if you don't mind me, it should be like 7 to 6, depending on...
right?
I've just seen it bounce to 7 to 6. That being said, if you don't mind me jumping in...
No, not at all.
For Reinhardts out there, always use that fire strike. As soon as it gets off cooldown, be looking to use that because you're trying to build your shatter as quick as possible, and that fire strike can go through multiple people, allowing you to
Absolutely.
get your ult crazy quick.
Yeah,
Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
you can get a lot of ult charge if you can hit like 3, 4 people with that fire strike. It's nuts.
And you can do that as they walk out of the door
But
before the
exactly.
first choke.
Exactly. It's beautiful. Like Zenyatta, I learned start charging right click 3.5, and then loose it at the door when they open. And if you with a good crosshair placement, you can just take one out right off the bat, full
Oh
kill.
yeah.
And what? That's like 15-20% ult charge right there. Boom.
The other one that I kind of touched on a little bit earlier. Know who you can do the most damage on in any fight, and in most cases, this is going to be a shieldless tank. I mean,
Yes.
if you see a diva around you and you desperately need 30% ult charge, don't look at anyone else for the next 10 seconds.
Yep. Just
Just
W mouse one that
constantly
bitch.
constantly spam big bodies, get damage wherever you can. Never stop firing if you need ult charge.
Yeah.
And try and build it as fast as you possibly can. And that is the fastest way you can build ult charge is by doing damage.
Environmental kills are also a great way to get big ult charge. Taz, being our resident Lucio, should know that. And if you, I don't know if you've ever done this, but if you've booped, say a Reinhardt, say just a high health tank who also has beat, if you've ever booped one of them, you know you get significantly more charge.
Well, one important thing to kind of know going into that is you have to know which ult built up the quickest. Because if you do end up grabbing, and then you shatter, and then you blade, you're going to have 3 characters with 0% ult charge, and your Zarya is going to
Exactly.
take 2 full team fights, best case scenario.
So
So in a
that's
situation like that,
why.
you have to know that Ryan has a very, I'm sorry, Fire. Ryan has a very quick ult charge, and you can build ult charge very quickly with that character. Genji's probably second, and Zarya's third, so you may want to try and shatter and then clean up as much as you can. And if you need to, after that point, then start investing some of your heavier ults. But
Well-
knowing which ults are built quickest is important as far as knowing when to use each ult.
If you're communicating with your team, being like, yo, grab blade or shatter blade, just make sure it's known that in this next fight, these are the ults we're using, and we're going to save them even if we lose the fight.
There's so many. So we can sit here and give you examples and exceptions and addendums for literally days on the different number of scenarios you can be in Overwatch that apply to just one character. So, like, not everything we say is set in stone. Please understand that every time you're using your ultimate, it's situational.
Mhm.
But
And on top of that, sometimes we're wrong.
in general, nothing in Overwatch is set in stone. It's a situational game. It changes every time because even if you're playing with new people, you're not going to stand in the exact same spot at the exact same time as the last game. Communication is a huge thing for it. What I like to look for is what is going to get the most value. Like, if I use it here, will I regret it in 3 seconds? You know what I mean? And is my team, is this a winnable fight? Do I need to use this? If I do need to use this, who do I need to use it on? So on and so forth. There are a lot of things.
A general rule that I like to follow regarding that is if you're one of 3 or fewer players alive for your team, there's no situation where you can really rationally
Absolutely.
confirm a goat and
Absolutely.
an ult. It's unless you're in a situation where you have the best Genji on the earth and you have an Ana who's in perfect position and you have a Zarya who's full charge and still has both her bubbles, then you can kind of try and work something out. But that situation where you're going to be able to win a 3v, let's say 4+
5,
team fight,
yeah.
is going to be very minimal. So
Yeah.
if you have less than 3 people alive, unless you're trying to stall for longer time or try and get one more inch of push on the cart by pushing someone off, there's no real reason to ult unless it's 0 seconds on the clock.
Use your ultimate to get value, whether it's kills, whether it's zoning. There's different ways to use different ultimates. Just make sure you're creating value, whether it be separating healers from your team with a dragon or grabbing your Reinhardt up in the air. Just make sure you're getting some kind of good value out of it. Also, make sure you're looking for synergies, people that you can combo with. Like I said earlier, Zarya and Hanzo combo really well together. Johnny Grab Dragons. And
I know what that means.
everybody does now. Just make sure, like we said earlier, communication is important. Talk to your team. If you hit tab and you see somebody else on your team has an ultimate that would go really well with yours, talk to them. Say, hey man, hold on to that. Let's use that together. Let's wait for a good time where we can both pop our ultimates and get really good value out of it.
If there literally could be anything that you take from this is communication. That's all. Like all these things we're telling you, you need to talk to your team.
Yes, and then
Even if they suck.
oh
Even
god,
if they
yeah.
blew.
Not even game-wise. Even if they're just douchebags.
Yeah.
True.
And then next is follow-up. You want to make sure you follow up these ultimates like Graviton Surge with damage or EMP with damage. If you're playing Sombra and you EMP and there's only like 2 people on your team that can like kind of poke at the 6 people you just EMP'd, that you're not going to get a lot of value out of it. Wait for your whole team to be set up. Wait for the poke phase, and then communicate with your team. Hey guys, I know we're still doing poke damage right now, but I'm about to EMP the shit out of them. Get ready to move forward. And then you wipe the fucking team.
Reinhardt's, unless they're not all directly in front of you, don't try to shatter and get a team wipe. It doesn't work out.
Yeah, it does not.
99% of the time, but that 1% of the time that it does.
But
that 1% of the time, you shut your mouth. That 1% of the time it does.
It doesn't work out.
God, it's gonna look great, and then you're gonna put it in your Reinhardt highlight that took you like way too long to make, and it's gonna be great.
You know, the exact highlight you're talking about is one we were all there for, though.
Oh god. And then
Shut your
also,
mouth.
also, I do want to say, make sure, along with having your team there to follow up with damage or to clean up, follow up cleanup, because you might be able to get a pick or 2 with your ultimate, but when it's over, if your team's not there to help you clean up and you're still outnumbered, well, get fucked.
It's just feeding.
Take the created space from that ultimate. Make sure you tell your teammates to push up. Like when I see a dragon come across a map from Hanzo, I walk with it. I'm inside of it. I'm walking like that's free push for me. You know what I mean? Like nobody can stand in front of me on the other team, otherwise they're gonna get a dragon in their face. So make sure you, as a team, take advantage of the space that has been created by an ultimate usage, so that you now have a better advantage.
Hell yeah.
Boom
And
shakalaka.
Fucking do that shit, you idiots.
Take
And
I'm
then-
sorry, I didn't mean to call our viewers idiots. It's just really simple, and do it.
And then
Just
just
Harold
last
still
but
does this sometimes too.
Shut the fuck up, Dad!
cool.
Reinhardt's, I'd say, stay on high alert most times because we build our ults crazy fast. And you may think that enemy Reinhardt is no way he's firestruck all the players behind me, but
He has.
he can sneak on you. But he has, and he'll sneak up on you. And then when he shatters and you're not ready to block it, your fucking Lucio will be like, "Oh, Reinhardt, fucking throw it again!" And then you're like, "Fuck you, Taz! Don't tell me what to do." Just an example.
Viral.
Viral?
Viral.
Or at each other. All right.
Ship us.
That's
We're
our
gonna do.
that's our fusion
Skip it.
person.
All right, we're gonna do.
What happened with game nights last week? Huh?
Well,
Borderlands happened.
shut up! No,
Motherfucker.
that's exactly what happened. Look,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be. I dropped the ball. I was fucking hyped about all this Borderlands talk.
We
I'm
were
playing
so
through all the games now.
high.
I'm. I got nothing to follow that up. I got nothing.
Yeah.
If they need a communal penis measurement, I'll exclude myself.
Don't be throwing off that average, am I right, Taz?
I don't know,
Yeah,
but
it'll be bumping a little on the low scale, and they may respect us less because of that. So I'll make sure to back us up. I got you guys.
hell yeah. So, Taz, do you want to tell everybody where they can find you?
Measure with the centimeter side. It'll give you a bigger number.